back in time, what game or match would you like to be there, commentating?
It could be a championship
Or like,
game, wherever it is. Yeah, go back in time that you wish you could be there to do commentating.
yeah.
Man, that's hard because I respect the hell out of like announcers from back in the day so much. But just to answer your question, man, I think it would have to be like Rock and Austin at WrestleMania 17. Man. That match is just that's. I don't know if that's my favorite match of all time, but it sure is one where I watch frequently and a lot. It's just like I don't know. It's just the whole story. I don't know. Have you guys seen that match recently? Like by any chance? You guys remember it somewhat at
You
all?
remember it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like to me, what I really like about that match, it's not even the match itself. It's when Austin is walking down to the ring, and we talked about this earlier. When Austin is walking down to the ring, JR does just such a freaking good job. Like he doesn't say anything until Austin gets into the ring. That little nuance right there. He gets into the ring, and then he goes, "The journey has culminated. Spinal surgery, injuries, the bionic redneck has come back to Texas," or whatever. I have it down for word because it's like it gives me chills, man. I listen to that. It's like one of those where, like, damn, like I want to do that. Now I don't want to be Stone Cold in the ring, which would be great. Imagine 67,000 people like cheering for you. That's nuts. But just to be able to call that moment and put someone else's career into perspective like that, especially at a big event, that's like what I want. That's what I'm working for. That's where I want to get
to. Kelsey, somebody, what sports have you covered so far during them?
So my first year, right, we start off with volleyball, and I'm like, damn, I never watched a lick of volleyball in my life. Oh, God, I was like, this is what I signed up for. So I don't want to do volleyball, we do pro wrestling, but volleyball. And it just so happened to be that our team was the number one team in the country in Division II women's volleyball. Ended up winning the national championship that year. I'm like, oh, okay, started with volleyball. I actually love volleyball now. Love that freaking sport. It's great. Started with volleyball, moved into soccer, then into basketball, then softball, then baseball, but baseball got cut off, right? Because that's when COVID hit, right, in March. So I got to do all of them. And this past year, same thing, right? So I'm contracted now by them, another 1-year deal, it'll probably be longer, maybe, prayers, fingers crossed. The same thing, volleyball, soccer. We're doing basketball right now. Got a game on Thursday. And then softball and baseball. And then actually, I have a new show, too, which will debut. I don't know how they're going to release it, but it's called Coyote Walk, where, just an interview show with, like, athletes, outside of the court, asking, like, generic questions, right? Kind of like podcast style, but, like, short and condensed. But, yeah, pretty much, man. So volleyball, soccer, baseball, softball, basketball, and men and women, man. So there's some days, man, some tough days where you're like doing like double headers, right? So you got to do soccer. Okay, you got women's and then men's, right? And then, like we're hosting the NCAA regional tournament, which is a big freaking deal. Okay, that's an 8-team tournament. Guess what you get to do on Thursday? Call all 4 games in one day. The next day you get to do 2 more, and then the next day you get to do 1. And hold on, you got basketball too. So you're gonna do basketball in the morning, and then after that you're gonna go do the freaking final.
But when you do, like, let's say, like, you do a sport like volleyball, a sport that you're not really familiar with, when it comes to preparation, like, do you watch a lot of volleyball? Like, how much do you watch? How much preparation do you do for when you cover a sport?
Well, preparation is always the key, man. It's the key no matter how good or how little you know the sport, right? So it's like it's everything, because that's like the last thing you want to do. And like, and I'll be honest, man. Life gets at you sometimes, and sometimes you don't have enough time to do all the preparation in the world that you want to, right? So you're barely skating by, bro. You're kind of like, okay, play, no backstory, right? Play, like. But with the sport like volleyball, right? Yeah, dude, you watch a lot of volleyball. You're like, okay, like first off, I don't even know how the scoring system works. How does the scoring system work? You got to learn that first and foremost, right? What exactly is a kill? What's a dig? What's a block, right? What's a set? Like that type of stuff. But preparation's always the key, man. And like even with the sports that I'm more familiar with, right? Like baseball, like as far as like rules and like the way stuff works, that would be my strongest one because I know like because I played it, right? But I'm a play-by-play guy, so I'm not doing color, I'm not doing analyst work, but at the same time, it's like like I do know like in a 2-2 count, it might be a fastball thrown or depending on whatever, but still, man, preparation is the key, man. And but that's made me a better commentator, man. To tell you the freaking truth, man, because that's the name of the game, man. You don't have to like be a diehard fan of whatever to be able to call it. Like that sounds weird, but like obviously, if you are, more kudos to you, man. You're gonna do a way better job, but you still can do a good job. But it's just preparation, right? How seriously do you take the sport? You don't know anything about it. All right, let's learn about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
As the season progresses, you get better. You start learning new things. You talk to coaches, players. It's like, why do you do that? Or why does that happen every single time? You just learn.
Mm-hmm.
Learning. That's the only thing that I can ever not stop doing. Like I have to do that every single day, man. Every day there's always something to learn. Like I always try to learn something, like whether it's through a podcast or through a book or through watching a game or listening to a game or like watching a match or, like whatever, or like even going and working out and like, or even like a Twitter update or whatever. Like there's always something to learn. Like you have to find it, right? That's what being a journalist is all about, is like the information's out there. Every type of information's out there. You just have to know how to find it. And then that'll lead you to knowing where to find it.
Mm-hmm. Somebody's watching this and wants to pursue into broadcasting, what advice could you give to someone that wants to pursue in that business?
Just go out there and start doing it. Like, just go out there and just try to find a way. Being a good broadcaster is being a good journalist. That's like the first thing. Like you have to be a good journalist to be a broadcaster. So learn how to be a journalist first and start trying to find opportunities, man. There's more opportunities out there than one would think. I've been getting hit up for like gigs, like here and there, like little gigs, right? Because people need like a commentator, right? Like they're out there, man. Like it's a difficult ass job to do. Like it looks easy, man, but it's tough, But like if someone wants to go out there and do it, it's like first and foremost, like get your education, man, because learn how to be a journalist first and foremost. Because if you're not a good journalist, you're not going to be a good announcer. Why? Because journalism is all about preparation, like how we talked about earlier, and knowing almost everything that you can know. That's what being a journalist is. You gather more information. You gather 100% of information only to use 10% of it, right? But you still need that other 90%. You may not use it in that particular game, right? But maybe you will in the next line. Like that's what it is. Like you got to know more. And that's what being a journalist is all about. And it's not about how you sound, your voice or whatever. Yeah, pronunciations, that matters and all that stuff, right? But it's not like you don't have to have a golden voice, to be a great comment. No, it's like, no, like, dude, like anybody can do it. Like that's the first thing that you learn in broadcasting class. Broadcasting 101, it's like you think you have to have this voice, blah, blah, blah. No, that's not true. You have to have the preparedness, the readiness, and to be able to like lead a broadcast, right? Because you can sound like $1 million, but what if you can't do the job? What if you don't know how to transition? Like, what if you're just not good at it? What if you're not good at following plays, play by play? What if you're too slow? Like that. But if anybody wants to be a commentator, dude, go do it, man. Go freaking do it. It's so much fun, and it's like the ultimate goal. Like especially when I do games at Cal State, talk about putting on the headset, sitting down like courtside, right, at the basketball games, right, like the action's right in your face. That's like crazy, and like to think that I get paid for that, it's just like it's ridiculous, man.
Awesome, man. It's such great advice.